So welcome everybody to ringside at the GT3 Tennis Stadium, Dubai, and it's quarter-finals day in the IBA Men's World Boxing Championships. Everybody who's made it this far has got $10,000 guaranteed, and we start off in this session with the minimum weight division, 48 kilos, then up to bantamweight, and then we progress through the weights into lightweight, welterweight, middleweight, cruiserweight, and then super heavyweight. So let's get our first fight of the session in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome back to session 13 of the IBA Men's World Boxing Championships 2025. And this elite competition has now reached the quarter-final bout stage, where boxers around the world are now one step closer to that coveted IBA World Champion status, and of course, life-changing and record-breaking prize money. Our first quarter-final will be in Ring A and is in the 48 kilogram minimum weight division. And your referee in charge of the action from Palestine is Mohammed Abu Ramleh. Introducing first into the red corner representing Russia, Edmond QuarterFinals.
European gold medalist in 2024, a bronze medalist at the World Champs in 2023.
And his opponent comes into the blue corner representing Australia, Kobe Hunt.
And this is actually Kobe Hunt's first fight of the championships due to circumstances. A bye and then a walkover.
Ladies and gentlemen, your judges for this contest come from Tunisia, Kyrgyzstan, Morocco, Colombia and Sri Lanka.
The 2025 Oceania champion, Kobe Hunt, up against an experienced Russian fighter in KHUDOIAN, and the Russian fighters have gone very, very well in Ring A. They turned in some tremendous performances, to be perfectly honest. We had a couple more yesterday. Toltayev, Viacheslav, Rogozin. We've seen Evgeny Kool. We've seen Jalilov, Bishamov. It's a strong, strong team. David Surov, 20 years old. KHUDOIAN is 29. And on experience will be the favourite, you would probably say, going into this, but we'll see how it all plays out. So this is our opening fight of the night, the minimum weight division.
Round one.
KHUDOIAN in the red and Hunt in the blue. Right hand into the body. Left to the body again there from KHUDOIAN. Switching to orthodox here, the fighter in red, and again just dips his knees and takes that long right hand to the body. He is a fighter who likes to get low. He boxes out of a bit of a crouch. I mentioned it in his last fight. In the World Championships in 2021, he actually got disqualified for dipping too low at the waist too regularly. I think that's something he probably has had to work on since, because at that point he was hinging at the waist and dipping his knees a bit, but he was mainly hinging at the waist, whereas now you can see that when he gets low, it's because he uses those legs, he squats. rather than dips. That's a good example there, actually. You see those legs really flex. It's a tiring thing to do. Left hand into the body again there from KHUDOIAN. Good one too there from KHUDOIAN. Straight left hand. Hunt came back with the right hand. Good jab from KHUDOIAN. And again, he's just been beat to the punch here, Hunt. A little bit slow to get off maybe, but he's trying to just work his way into this. You can't take too long to do that in this 3-round format, of course. Right hand off the ropes there from KHUDOIAN, who's dominated this opening round. He's looked really nice and sharp. Good left hand there, and the referee had a look at that. Probably wasn't too far away from a standing count, but he took it okay, Hunt, but he was on the run a little bit there towards the end of the round, and he clicked through the gears in that 3 minutes there, KHUDOIAN. Started off with the jab to the body, just went for the body, then switched up a little bit, and then looked a bit more for combinations. Always impressive seeing someone build their way in like that. And 1:10.8 in there. I think that was a good candidate for a 10-8. It's 10-9 for a close round, remember. 10-8 for a clear round win, 10-7 for a very clear round win. And if there's one thing I would say about the scoring this week, I would say that
seconds out.
Judges maybe need to be more prepared to give 10-8s, because a close round win and a clear round win, to win a round clearly, you don't have to dominate every single second of it. And I'd say that was a clear, comfortable round win. Shoelace, bootlace is undone. Good amount of Australian fans in, you can hear them. This is better from Hunt, getting onto the front foot, let his right hand go there. Referee could have gone in a bit quicker there, I think, maybe. And he's giving the standing count because he did get caught there, Hunt. Well, he stepped in, and I thought that was a more promising situation for him, to be honest. The referee's given the standing count. There was a clean shot in there. It didn't really have too much effect on him. Strong right hand again, and another standing count. This is something else that we discussed during the course of the week, is when you do and don't give a standing count. It's up to the judges to interpret what happens in the round as a whole anyway. There's no rule in place that the standing count means this or that. They just interpret it as a whole. So in a sense, it doesn't really matter too much, but I feel like a standing count should be reserved for a punch that gets some kind of a physical reaction. You feel like the fighter might be slightly hurt. if they just take it and take it well, I don't really feel like you need to give it. He's just standing off him now, HUDOIAN, in the final few seconds of the round. I wonder whether he's just saving a bit for the third and final round, thinking that he should be able to get him out of there. Another good, clean shot there from HUDOIAN, and this could be it. The referee has decided that that's it. Well, it's 3 standing counts. You can't have 3 in a round. Any more than that, then you're done. And he doesn't like it, and I understand why he doesn't like it, because he's not getting beaten up there, and that's kind of my point. If a standing count is given when the fighter is hurt, to my mind, it's always there to protect the fighter. And if the legs give a little wobble and you don't do it, and then the fighter, the opponent follows up and flattens them because they're in that kind of state, then that's bad. But that wasn't going to happen there. It didn't look like it was going to do anyway. It doesn't make too much difference. HUDOIAN was winning that fight. He was going to go on and win that fight. There's no question about that. But Kobe Hunt, I think, would have liked the opportunity to take part in that third round.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this contest and heading into our semi-final by way of RSC is in the red corner, representing Russia, Edmond HUDOIAN.
Good performance, though, that from HUDOIAN, really was. Razor sharp right from the start. And he takes his place in the semi-finals. And one thing on that, if you get a bronze medal here, you are guaranteed $75,000 US. And if you make it to the semi-finals, you are, of course, guaranteed that bronze. And there's that right hand, and he's not hurt by that. You can see he takes it and keeps coming forward. And he's annoyed with himself for getting caught. You could just see, well, I won't say what he said.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next quarter-final in Ring A is also in the 48-kilogram minimum weight division. Your referee in charge of the action from Tajikistan is Akmaljon Abdullayev. Introducing into the ring first, representing Nepal, and into the red corner, Prasad Lal Upreti. And his opponent will come into the blue corner, representing Kazakhstan, Temirtas ZHUSSUPOV.
The Pretis had 2 fights so far, both wins by UD, Abel Alemu of Ethiopia and Mihai Porombak of Moldova. Plenty of experience at the Asians, at the under-22s and the elites as well.
Your judges for this contest come from Armenia, Italy, Egypt, Afghanistan and the UAE.
ZHUSSUPOV of Kazakhstan, 37 years old. So there's a big age gap between the two there. Upreti, as you can see, is 22. ZHUSSUPOV beat Devendra Singh Solanki in his first and only fight so far. A World Championship gold medalist in 2021, boxed a lot of WSB. Whilst that tournament was in operation for the 7-8 seasons it was going. Very, very experienced guy.
Round one.
So into the first. Upreti in the red, ZHUSSUPOV in the blue. Showed us a lot of good movement in his previous couple of fights. Upreti likes to dip low, he's got good feet. And maybe he's just going to hold them a little bit here. ZHUSSUPOV looking for the jab, it was a little bit too high. Good right hand there from ZHUSSUPOV. Single right hand there from ZHUSSUPOV. He struggled with his range in this opening round, Upreti. So far anyway, still a minute remaining. Just a touch to the body there with the left hand from Upreti. ZHUSSUPOV's putting him under good pressure here. Final few seconds of the round, ZHUSSUPOV just closing in there. He almost got caught by a left hand from Upreti, but not quite. Jab from Upreti, just about got there. He's thrown a few that have just about made it. The fighter in red, but as I say, the distance has been a little bit of an issue for him at times. ZHUSSUPOV brought some good front foot pressure there. Got through with the cleaner blows. And 10-9 across the board there for Temirtas ZHUSSUPOV. Bronze medalist at the Asian Championships in 2019. He's had 3 fights with IBA Pro, 2 wins, 1 loss.
Round 2.
And he's looking to throw a bit more right from the start of the second round here, Upreti. Caught by the right hand there, though, ZHUSSUPOV. He's one of these fighters, Upreti, who does like to move, and there's a lot going on. He just hops onto his front foot there, whereas ZHUSSUPOV is more economical. right hand from ZHUSSUPOV. And then a little touch to the body there from Upreti with the left. Left hand taken on the glove there by ZHUSSUPOV, and Upreti still just struggling a bit to close the gap here. That's been his issue in this fight so far. ZHUSSUPOV hasn't landed a ton himself, but he just makes that bigger commitment as he did there to find a right hand into the body. When he comes forward, he steps and really makes the move. And then throws that overhand right, moves straight onto the shoulder. Makes it difficult to counter. Final couple of seconds of round two. And the second round taking a similar course to the first round, really. And there's a lot thrown there, very little landed, and that's kind of been what the fight has been like. But ZHUSSUPOV there with a right hand that gets through, and another one there, and it's those punches that are winning the fight for him, because Upreti hasn't really landed any of them. Every now and again he's had a little kind of tickle to the body, but not too much more than that. 10-9 against for ZHUSSUPOV, so he's 20 points to 18 clear on all 5 judges' scorecards. So this will really take some turning around now, because Upreti doesn't just need to win the round, he needs to win it.
Third and final round.
10-8, if he can get 10-8s on 3 of the scorecards, then those 3 judges would make a decision as to who they felt had won, an overall decision. And if they then all went his way, then we'd have a 3-2, and then we go to the 2 extra cards. There's a lot of ifs in there. He must know he's behind here, Upreti, surely, and you'd imagine that he'll try and make more of a move in this third and final round. ZHUSSUPOV is a good fighter. He's been a good fighter for a really long time. And just stepping to him is not necessarily going to do you too much good. You have to be educated about it, but he does need to bring some more urgency here. And that's been his problem there, that last 10 seconds. Everything was a long way short there. He's starting from the outside, he's trying to close that gap, but ZHUSSUPOV can just see him coming a mile away. into the final minute. And there's that move again from ZHUSSUPOV, where he throws that single right hand, moves straight onto the shoulder. And if his opponent hasn't made a move himself, then that basically makes it impossible to counter because you're far too close. Closing stages, and Temirtas ZHUSSUPOV, the 2021 world champion, is going to go through to the semi-finals here. And that is a pretty routine victory for him. He controlled it from the beginning. And he won't have taken too much out of himself there either. It is the hottest part of the day to be fighting, I would say that. If you're on early in the evening session, then you get the spiciest conditions temperature-wise. And it's 2 fights in each weight we'll have for you over the course of boxing until around about midnight local time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest via unanimous decision, and now heading into our semi-finals, in the blue corner, representing Kazakhstan, Temirtas ZHUSSUPOV.
Clean cards there. 10-9 with all 5 judges 3 times in a row. Now we head into the bantamweights.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next quarter-final bout is in the 54-kilogram bantamweight division.
And this should be a good fight.
Your referee for the contest from Azerbaijan is Faud Aslanov. Introducing first, coming into the red corner, representing Spain, Rafael Serrano Lozano. And his opponent comes into the blue corner, representing Russia, Viacheslav Rogozin.
2 really good young fighters here. 20 years old, Lozano, silver at the World Boxing World Championships in September, got to the quarterfinals of the Olympic Games. He's won a World Youth Bronze, European Youth Gold, won 2 fights here already, both by unanimous decision. And Rogozin, a 2024 World Youth Champion.
Your judges for the contest come from Sri Lanka, Palestine, Morocco, Colombia and Latvia.
Lozano's beaten Shafi Bakari Hassan and Zalim Suleimanov. Rogozin stopped Amy Iranazeza of Rwanda in the second, and then a shutout against Sanjay Sedekmartov of Kyrgyzstan in what was a really impressive performance all round. Both southpaws. And a lot of support in for Russia
Round one.
Lozano in the red, Rogozin in the blue. Both of them just trading on the inside. They really stepped into their shots there. Look to put plenty on them. I don't think either one's really going to give much ground here. It's Rogozin who's on the front foot there, but Lozano's keen to get back to the centre of the ring. Look for the right to the body. It was well defended by Lozano, who just dropped that left elbow on it. Left into the body there, scored from Lozano. I think a left might have come back from Rogozin, and these two just getting down to it. Just a minute in here. And this is already looking like it might catch fire a touch. Right into the body there from Rogozin. Jab to the body from Rogozin, and a good combination. The left hand landed. He's just beginning to get on top a little bit here, the fighter in blue. Lozano cannot allow him to build up a rhythm. Right to the body again there. And you can hear the chant echoing around in the background. Lozano trying to engage on the inside. The left hand came in from Rogozin. He's so good at just dictating the tempo, controlling the fight with his feet, Rogozin. He cuts you off really, really well. The front foot pressure is terrific. That was good from Lozano, turning off the ropes and then just threw a couple, but Rogozin was alive to it and managed to defend it. Good left hand there from Rogozin. Defensively pretty sound there from Lozano, just slipping and rolling on the ropes. Only that one punch got through, and again there just takes his weight back nicely. But on the offensive front, it's the fighter in blue who has done the better work in that opening round. So that's the Russian cheering section up there. And they've been in good voice for a few days now, actually. And there are the scores, 4-1 in favour of Rogozin. I expected a clean sweep there, to be honest. It was a clear round win for him.
Seconds out. Round two.
Viacheslav Rogozin, the 2024 World Youth Champion of Russia in the blue. Rafael Lozano, the 2024 Olympian and silver medalist in the recent Senior World Boxing World Championships. He's in the red. But he's up against it a bit here. Left into the body again there for Rogozin. There's a left hand there from Rogozin again just a few seconds ago that clipped the chin midway through the second round. There's just no real let-up with him. As I said, the front foot pressure is good, the punch variety is good, the accuracy is good. Goes down to the body there again. Lozano trying to use the jab himself, but he just spends most of your time trying to cope with what's coming your way. It's such an interesting tipping point in boxing as to what extent you try and be proactive, or to what extent you try and be reactive. I've only seen Rogozin come forward so far. I've seen him fight coming forward because he's dominated his fights. What's he like going backwards? That's what I really want to know. Right hand landed there from Lozano when he did manage to push him back a little bit. The bell goes to the end of the second round, and again it's a round that has been dominated by the fighter in blue. I thought Lozano got into it a little bit towards the end of the round there. Not enough to mean that that won't go the other way, but as I said, he's got to try and push Rogozin back. He just has to. It's easier said than done, clearly it is, but he has to try and do that. And that was the foray there where Lozano just sprang forward and let his hands go a little bit. It was a bit untidy at times, but that's just how it is. There's KHUDOIAN taking his place up in the stands.
Third and final round.
So it's 4-1 split scoring again, 20-18 with 4 judges, 20-18 in favour of Lozano with the other judge, which is a fairly inexplicable scorecard, to be honest. Looking for a big left hand there, Rogozin. Right hand there from Rogozin, but I think Lozano's doing the right thing here, and he has to. He's got to win a couple of these rounds 10-8 to tie up a couple of cards, and again it's the same scenario. You then hope that the judges, when they cast their vote as to who they feel has won, go your way, and then you can force a 3-2 win at ringside and go to the extra scores. Doing that with one card would force a 3-2 and go to the extra scores, but I wouldn't put any money on the extra scores at the minute doing him any favours, but again, it's a lot of ifs. It's been another good performance here from Rogozin. Looking for the big overhand there, Lozano. Left into the body from Rogozin. He's just so good at finding the gaps. The 4-punch combination there, it's the final punch of the combination often which gets through. Jab to the head as Lozano was looking to let go with his left hand. It's not that he hasn't had any success in this fight, Lozano. He has done at times. And he's landed some good-looking clean punches on occasion, but it has been occasionally. That's been the issue. There's that left to the body again. Right hand from Lozano. Final few seconds, and we're going to have another Russian fighter through to the semi-finals. And that's a very, very good win, because when you look at the experience level of Lozano, okay, he's only a year older, but he's done a lot more as a senior than Rogozin. A silver at that World Boxing World Championships, as I say, that's a huge achievement. Lost to Mahmoud Sabir Khan, quarterfinals at the Paris Olympics. Rogozin has just taken down an Olympic quarterfinalist. That is serious business.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest by split decision, and now heading into the semi-finals. In the blue corner, representing Russia, Viacheslav Rogozin.
So 4-1 split in favour of Rogozin. A fight he bossed really from beginning to end.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next quarterfinal in Ring A is in the 54-kilogram bantamweight division. Your referee in charge of the action from the UAE is Sultan Al Wali. Introducing first, coming into the red corner, representing Uzbekistan, Asilbek Jalilov.
Jalilov with 2 wins so far against Sadai Ahiskali of Turkey and Amadou Mohammed of Ghana. And here he comes.
And his opponent comes into the blue corner, representing Serbia, Artur NAGAPETJAN.
2024 Asian champion Jalilov.
Your judges for the contest come from Armenia, Romania, Egypt, Tajikistan and Afghanistan.
So that is Asilbek Jalilov. And he's up against a fighter who turned in a very, very good performance yesterday. Artur NAGAPETJAN of Serbia took down David Depina of Cape Verde, an Olympic bronze medalist, and he did it in style by unanimous decision. Gave him a standing count at the end of the first round and buzzed him, because the second round he just wasn't really there, Depina. He was in survival mode, and after that he's 2 rounds down and he's on his way out. And he also beat Marcio Cardoso of Portugal by unanimous decision in his opening fight. Russian-born NAGAPETJAN now competing for Serbia.
Round one.
So Jalilov in the red, NAGAPETJAN in the blue. He's got very good feet, Jalilov. That's what he's shown us in this competition so far. NAGAPETJAN is good, though, at closing that distance. He's good at keeping pressure on and does well there. Gets close, left hand into the body, right uppercut. And Jalilov is as tall and spidery as he is. Kind of likes it at that mid-range where he is there, because he can dig his toes in and put some heat on those shots. NAGAPETJAN, though, just getting him in reverse at the moment. And Jalilov just playing a little game there. Let him go. Maybe waiting for NAGAPETJAN to relax a bit, thinking the referee would get in and break them. And then just shrugged him off and let his hands go. That's a decent left hand there from Jalilov. And he riled Amadou Mohammed up yesterday of Ghana. He had a big smile on his face all through the fight, Jalilov. He was toying with him a little bit at times, and as he left the ring, you could see that Mohammed had not enjoyed that experience one little bit. Nice 1-2 there from Jalilov, who is, from what I saw, a rhythm fighter. If he gets those feet moving and gets a bit of a flow, then you could have a problem. NAGAPETJAN has got to make sure that doesn't happen. Strong left hand there from NAGAPETJAN. Good 1-2 there from Asilbek. Nicely thrown, Jalilov, but he was taking on the gloves. And there again, there's that look on his face. He enjoys his work, and NAGAPETJAN is replying in kind there, just sticks his hands behind his back, and Jalilov gets a hold of him and dumps him on the canvas. I think this is going to be an interesting fight into the final 10 seconds of round one. I wouldn't say there's been much in this opener. NAGAPETJAN had most of his success early. Jalilov's had more in recent times. And finishes off there with some nice quick hands. And a long, long look from Jalilov towards NAGAPETJAN. He is the kind of person who, when you're in the ring with him, if you're not careful, it'll be very easy to let him wind you up. He's just that kind of character. I think it comes naturally to him. Now, did NAGAPETJAN put enough in the bank in the first half, the first 2 minutes maybe, or did Jalilov overhaul him in that final minute? That's kind of what we saw there. And there's NAGAPETJAN just giving him a bit back there, Jalilov, as if to say, two can play that game. Split scoring. Split scoring.
Seconds out.
So 3 judges going in favour of Jalilov there, 2 in favour of NAGAPETJAN. There wasn't a lot to choose between them. That could be really important, though. The way that split's gone in the final analysis. When you've got a really close fight, the scoring of every single round can be so crucial. Good use of the jab there from NAGAPETJAN. Left hand from NAGAPETJAN, I think, got through. There was a left hand on the inside. Good right hand from NAGAPETJAN as well. And there's a lot going on there from Jalilov, and there's plenty of sound effects, but That's taken on the gloves. The left hand there lands from NAGAPETJAN. He's having the better of these exchanges early on in the second round by a clear margin here. Left to the body there from Jalilov. Good jab there from Jalilov, caught NAGAPETJAN on the way in. And Jalilov again just using those feet well. NAGAPETJAN at times just beginning to follow him around a bit. But again, he's stuck in on the inside there, the Serbian. Lots of punches being thrown in these situations where they're up close. Difficult at times to work out exactly what's got through and what hasn't. I don't think anything did there, really, from either one of them. In that particular exchange, good left hand there from Jalilov. That definitely got through, and another one. 1-2 crashes down the middle. This is good from the Uzbek. And again, NAGAPETJAN made a good start. But Jalilov is coming more into it as the round progresses here. Closing stages of round two. It's good use of the lead hand there from Jalilov, and he finds a little bit of range. He's much better when he gets into that mid-range. When he's right up close, you can see that he likes to take it there. It's a form of fighting that he enjoys, but for the purposes of winning this fight, he's way better off being at that kind of longer side of mid-range. He's never going to keep it completely on the outside, but that's just great hand speed there. NAGAPETJAN's coming in, trying to close the gap, and he just lets him have it. Reloads, throws the 1-2, reloads, throws the 1-2. Nice and loose, nice and accurate, and that really is, that is the template for him. That's how he needs to go about this. And sometimes he chooses to do that, and other times he doesn't. He had some success in the first portion of the round, NAGAPETJAN, but in the second half of the round, Jalilov really came to the fore, and he's got 3 of those cards in that first round. And this is where this becomes critical now, because if he swept it in this second round, then it leaves NAGAPETJAN with a lot to do.
Seconds out.
And he has 10-9 across the board, so he's got a 2-point lead with 3 judges. He absolutely must win this final round now. NAGAPETJAN.
Third and final round.
And he needs it with those 2 judges who've got it 19 apiece. If he can get those 2, then it goes to bout review, and we'll look at the 2 added scores. Good work down to the body there from NAGAPETJAN. And that's not where Jalilov needs to be. This is not the range he needs to have this at. It's exactly where NAGAPETJAN needs it. Good right hand there from NAGAPETJAN, and he'll want to keep it up close like this and work away. That's much more his kind of range, and Jalilov needs to get this back to that more kind of 3/4 distance, really. That's where he's at his best. He's throwing that 1-2 there, but then falls in on NAGAPETJAN. He needs to try and maintain that space if he can. Lead right hand there from Jalilov. NAGAPETJAN looking for that right hand over the top. Into the final minute. Right hand into the body there from Jalilov. And then a left for NAGAPETJAN is right on top of him at all times here. Jalilov just going for, I was going to say a walk, but he kind of bounds across the ring. Really moves at pace. There's that single left from Jalilov. NAGAPETJAN just sticking to the task here. He's caught square to the ropes there, Jalilov. He threw the 1-2. It was pretty effective, but then didn't have anywhere to go. So final few seconds here. Right hand from NAGAPETJAN, and lands a left as well right at the end of the round. And he's worked hard in that third and final round, NAGAPETJAN. He's worked really, really hard. Well, the reminder of the scoring through 3 rounds. 20 points to 18 with 3 judges in favour of Jalilov, and NAGAPETJAN hasn't won that final round 10-8, so those 3 are in the Uzbek's pocket. The other 2 rounds were 19 apiece. He needs those. He needs those rounds. If he gets them, then we will go to a bout review. I'd give him that final round. NAGAPETJAN myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest via split decision and heading into our semi-finals in the red corner, representing Uzbekistan, Asilbek Jalilov.
So Jalilov gets it on a 4-1 split. Interestingly, in that final round, he won it with 4 of the judges there, NAGAPETJAN. He needed it with both of the judges who had it level at 19 apiece, and the only one who went against him was one of those judges. If that had gone the other way, we would have gone to a bout review, but looking at the scores there, I can tell you the bout review would have turned a 3-2 into a 4-3. So Jalilov comes away with the win, but it was a good fight, that close fight. It's interesting, Jalilov, because he doesn't really use those natural tools as much as he might. In that second round, which he won comprehensively, he found that distance, he poured in that 1-2, that lovely loose 1-2, and he won the round. And then in the third round, he basically just didn't. He could have, but he didn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next quarter-final in Ring A is in the 60-kilogram lightweight division. Your referee in charge of the action from Latvia will be Sergei Petrunin. Introducing first, coming into the red corner, representing Uzbekistan, Abdumalik Khalokov.
Gold at the World Boxing World Championships in September, Khalokov, and at the Olympic Games and at the IBA World Championships.
And his opponent comes into the blue corner, representing Azerbaijan, Mahammadali Ashiraliyev.
And Khalokov got a walkover in his opening scheduled fight, then beat Enrique Kakulov of Spain 5-0. He's an Asian champion and an Asian Games winner as well, actually, just in case you were wondering whether he completed that set.
Ladies and gentlemen, your judges for this contest are from Sri Lanka, Serbia, Tunisia, Palestine and Italy.
So there's a lot going for Khalokov, but his opponent Ashiraliyev has been in this ring throughout the competition so far, and he's been impressive. Good mover, slick fighter, European junior silver medalist. Won the Eindhoven Cup in June, wins against Wisdom Barnor, a walkover, and an Archus Gomtsian of Georgia. That was a good win. Gomtsian, an accomplished front foot pressure fighter, and he dealt with him pretty comfortably.
Round one.
So Khalokov in the red, Ashiraliyev in the blue. Right hand down the middle there from Khalokov. Left hand landed too. He's got that rhythm about him, Khalokov, and you just see him wheel away there, just turning literally on that one foot, that front foot. And then just pulls his weight back, dead centre between his 2 feet. The balance, the setup is superb. Right hand there just clips Ashiraliyev. He's hit him clean 3 times, not with anything massive, but he's already hit a good groove here. Left hand there from Ashiraliyev, got his feet a little bit closer. Left hand back though from Khalokov. Right hand into the body. Right hand into the body there from Khalokov. Just looking to get on top of Ashiraliyev a little bit there. Ashiraliyev just coming off the ropes. Heading into the final 30 seconds. And Khalokov has outlanded Ashiraliyev in this round so far. Good use of the jab there from him as well. Ashiraliyev just trying to close that gap. He's got to make a big move with the feet if he wants to track Khalokov down. He's done it a couple of times. Tried to do it there, but got caught on the way in. The back foot just came round, but he turned slightly square. And you will get punished for small technical errors by this Uzbek fighter. I outlined the resume, and it is very, very impressive. I remember seeing him for the first time in the World Championships in 2021, where he lost in the final to Sofian Umahar, who was a terrific 3-round fighter.
seconds out. Round 2.
Into the second round, Khalokov in the red, winning that first round with all 5 judges. So Ashiraliyev has got plenty to do in this second round. And the difficulty against someone like Khalokov is that the more you come for him, the more you might leave yourself open and the more you might get caught. But he does have to try something here. He's got to slide those feet in as quick as he can, try and work in behind that jab, keep that head on the move, left hand into the body there, landed. But you're up against somebody who's got very, very quick hands. And look at that there, off straight legs pretty much, split stance, just pulled his weight back onto the back leg and caught him with a left hand as he was coming in, and then pulled his weight back again. And on the turn there, just spinning around that front foot, still manages to land the jab a couple of times. This is a very difficult job for Ashiraliyev. He's sticking to it, getting in tight there, looking to try and work to the body. Good left hand there from Ashiraliyev. Combination taken on the gloves. Closing stages of round 2, and Ashiraliyev has done a little bit better in this round, I would say, but it's not going to be good enough to be able to win it for him. And Khalokov going for that little extended walk, then just pirouettes and throws the jab out of the southpaw stance. He is a difficult man to contend with. And again, another set of 10-9s there for Khalokov, and he is on his way to the semi-finals. Unless Ashiraliyev can find something pretty exceptional in this final 3 minutes.
Third and final round.
And Khalokov just coming in from the outside there for once missed, that time with the right hand. left to the body. He's just so quick. He let the left hand go there, Ashiraliyev. But left hand to the body from Khalokov was just rapier-like. Midway stage of round 3. He's had a good tournament, Ashiraliyev. There is absolutely nothing to reproach himself for. By making it to the quarterfinals, he's earned himself, his federation and his coach, $10,000 US. He's won 2 fights to get here, including a good victory against Artur of Georgia. But in Khalokov, who is the reigning world champion with both the IBA and world boxing. We'll see if he still is at the end of this week. Olympic Games champion. The task was considerable as we head into the final minute of this final round. So there goes the bell at the end of the contest. Celebration there from Ashiraliyev. He did better in that final round. I think Khalokov maybe just took his foot off the gas a little bit, to be honest. I don't think he did enough to win the round, Ashiraliyev. It's a pretty clean 3-0 all the way through that for Abdumalik. Khalokov, I would be surprised if we saw anything else. And he makes his way through. And so far in this session, we have had wins for Russia, Kazakhstan, Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest via unanimous decision, and heading into our semi-finals, in the red corner, representing Uzbekistan, Abdumalik Khalokov. So this session, as I was saying, just being dominated by Russia, Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. 3 absolute powerhouses. So that is our first fight in the lightweight division. Next up, we have got Latvia against Armenia in Matvejs, Prokudins and Artur Bazeyan. One judge actually going the other way in that final round. So 4 scores of 3-0, one of 2-1, and the backflip perfectly landed. It always makes the coaching team nervous, the backflip. There's nothing to be gained by it for them. And sometimes I've spoken to training teams and they're half hoping that their athlete just doesn't quite manage to land it one time, scares himself a bit, and then stops doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, our next quarter-final bout in Ring A is also in the 60-kilogram lightweight division. Your referee in charge of the action from Colombia is Juan Carlos Fernandez Mora. Introducing first, coming into the red corner, representing Latvia, Matvejs Prokudins.
He's won 3 out of 3, Prokudins, so he's been busy. Wins against Georgios Playas of Greece, Oceanian champion Luke Kassar of Australia. We stopped him in the second round with a body shot, and then Kenya's Washington Wandera.
And his opponent comes into the blue corner representing Armenia, Artur Bazeyan.
Prokudins boxing out of Riga, Latvian national champion. A decent amount of international experience, but this is a bit of a breakout for him, I think, really. He's looked good so far.
Your judges for the contest come from Morocco, Serbia, Kyrgyzstan, Romania and Tajikistan.
And there's Bazeyan from Yerevan, European bronze medalist 3 years ago. Boxed at the World Championships last time out. Wins against Bathili of Mali and Ankara of Ghana, both by unanimous decision.
Round one.
So Prokudins in the red, Bazeyan in the blue. Good left hand there from Prokudins, straight down the middle. A bit scrappy this so far. Yet to really get going. The referee just talking to the pair of them about holding. Bazeyan just trying to get tight to Prokudins. Lands a good right hand into the body there. Good right hand there from Bazeyan. He's bringing some decent pressure here into the final round. Prokudins trying to find a left to the body. The Armenian, though, with that guard just in place pretty much all of the time. Just got knocked back on his heels by a jab there as he looked to try and throw the right hand. So bell goes to the end of round one. Little nick on the corner of the left eye there of Prokudins. That was something he sustained in a fight earlier in the week. It was Bazeyan who was really bringing the pressure there, trying to get onto the front foot. That's the kind of fighter that he is. He got caught a few times on the way in. He did have some successes of his own as well. He was pretty even, really, overall that opening round. And split scoring, 3 scores in favour of Bazeyan, 2 for Prokudins.
Seconds out. Round 2.
Good left hand there from Prokudins. He's going to have to keep landing those. He showed decent composure in that first round. Bazeyan's trying to get him to panic a bit. That's the whole point of this kind of style. And he's not doing it. Good left hand to the body from Prokudins. Bazeyan working to the body himself. Prokudins just trying to let that left go up top again. And the Armenian just attempting to rattle away to that midsection when he gets up tight. Chopping down with that left hand there, Prokudins. Bazeyan again on the inside, just trying to work to the body. Prokudins trying to answer in kind there. It's more Bazeyan's kind of fight from that range, you would imagine, but that's pretty good actually from the Latvian. Just bumped his man off with the shoulder and then through the left hand. The referee getting on his case there, Bazeyan about the head into the final minute of round 2. And this has been a close round as well, just like the first round was. He's picking some good shots there, Prokudins. Bazeyan's scoring too. He's just revving those hands up and letting them go. Not landing with any great weight. Prokudins on his part every now and again just manages to give himself a bit of space and lands a bit more heavily. Left hand there from Bazeyan. So there goes the bell at the end of the second. And again, a close round. It's a close fight. And Prokudins, I thought, did some pretty good work off the back foot there. He was a bit more sparing with the punches that he picked. The greater volume came from Bazeyan. The punches that I thought had a bit more weight on them came from Prokudins. But that's what he looked for. Went down to the body in that manner quite often. And it's sensible stuff, it's percentage stuff. When you manage to get close like he does, that's what he's looking to do, because getting in there nice and tight, that is his game. Left hand to the head. And he gets it with all of the judges. 10 lines across the board there. So he's got a lead of 2 points with 3 judges. 2 cards are level.
Third and final round.
Prokudins has got to get those 2 level cards to go his way this round. Then we'll have a 3-2 and we'll go to bout review, where we'll look at those 2 extra scores. A 3-2 one way doesn't often get reversed to a 4-3 the other way, thanks to 2 scores from the evaluator and observer going against the fighter who was 3-2 ahead, but it does happen. And again, this is where Bazeyan wants to be. That kind of distance is difficult for Prokudins to do anything from there, and then he can just let those hands go. He doesn't land heavy, he's not looking to. Once he gets into that particular area. Midway through the round. Good straight right hand there from Bazeyan. Again, it's just working hard here on the inside. That's good from him, just dipping at the waist, moving that head through the left hook as well. And he's finishing strong here, the Armenian fighter. Prokudins needs to really, really dig in and see if he can just get something done in the final minute, because he's got to win those two drawn cards. If he can do that, then we'll get a 3-2 and we'll go to bout review. That's his best shot at the minute. That's his only shot at the minute. But Bazeyan again, just working those hands, the right hand into the rib cage, off the back of the combination as well. There goes the bell. Good fight. And Bazeyan's going to have won it, I think. Close first round, and then from that point on, Bazeyan just had the greater work rate. He got himself onto the inside and then just kept letting those hands go. They know in that corner that it's going to be a win for their man. Prokudins has had a good competition, though. He's had a good competition. He's won 3 fights. He's made himself $10,000 US, and that wasn't a poor performance by any stretch. He was hanging in there. He was doing better than hanging in there, actually. He landed some decent shots.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this contest by unanimous decision and heading into the semi-finals in the blue corner, representing Armenia, Artur Bazeyan.
So Armenia makes it through to the semi-finals, and if you get to the semi-finals, then you are guaranteed a bronze medal, and therefore you are guaranteed $75,000 US. Absolutely eye-watering prize money on offer in this World Championships. Over $8 million the prize pot. If you get to the final, then if you win, if you scoop a gold medal, it's $300,000, and a silver is $150,000. And next up, we will head into the welterweight division.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next quarterfinal now moves into the 67-kilogram welterweight division. Your referee in charge of the action from Romania is Valentin Iulian Botez. Introducing first, coming into the red corner, representing Uzbekistan, Asad Kuja Muydinkhujaev.
So this sees Uzbekistan up against Kazakhstan, and that is always an appetizing prospect. Muydinkhujaev, World Boxing World Championship world champion.
And his opponent comes into the blue corner, representing Kazakhstan, Sanatali Toltayev.
So Muydinkhujaev, who got gold in Liverpool in September, Olympic champion in Paris, gold medalist in Tashkent with the IBA World Championship 2023. It's a resume.
Your judges for the contest come from Azerbaijan, Tajikistan, Italy, Egypt and Tunisia.
And so far Muydinkhujaev has beaten Rashield Williams of the Bahamas and Arman Mashikarian of Armenia. Toltayev, 26 years old, from Almaty, has beaten Gerald Kabinda of Zambia, All African Games champion, and then Cassio Oliveira of Brazil. Good international experience and pro experience also. Solid touch of gloves there at the start of the fight. Muydinkhujaev in the red, Toltayev in the blue.
Round one.
Toltayev very quickly across the ring there. Maybe he's going to look to be aggressive here against Muydinkhujaev and see if he can put him onto the back foot. What is absolutely crucial in these three-round fights is that you do not let these fighters like Muydinkhujaev just settle into some kind of a rhythm. If you do, before you know it, you're 2 rounds in, you've lost both rounds, and you've got a mountain to climb. You cannot allow them to settle, but you can't be too reckless either. Toltayev just with a nice guard there, looking to get close. Physically, you look at the size of Muydinkhujaev and you wonder how he gets all of that into 67 kilos. He is bigger than Toltayev. Right hand to the body, good shot from Toltayev, then goes up to the head, good combination. Strong left hand though from Muydinkhujaev, comes back immediately. This is good stuff. And Toltayev has, I think, got absolutely the right idea here. He's trying to be proactive, he's trying to make things happen, put the pressure on the fighter in red. You cannot allow someone like him just to have things his own way. Good right hand again there from Toltayev, and a right into the body. Combination from Toltayev. He's had a good start here. We're heading into the final minutes of round one. One landed there from Muydinkhujaev. It's a cut. Right eye of Toltayev. I'm not quite sure if it's just on the cheek underneath the eye. It looks like it probably is. Left into the body there, and I imagine, well, I'll wait for the signal from the referee. It could be from a punch, that. Head clash is the signal being given by our ref. But we don't want this one being stopped early, because this is a good fight, it's a good watch. And how does that look? She's just pinching it together there. Doesn't look great. And this is the kind of injury that if further punches land on it and worsen it, then we could see the fight stop. In that case, then Muydinkhujaev would win, because although the cut was opened up by a head clash, it wasn't stopped on that head clash, so you can win by making that cut worse. So there goes the bell at the end of the first round. Good opening round, not much in that. Toltayev did some good work in that first 3 minutes. And they're just trying to get the swab in there with the adrenaline solution on it. Just clamp it in there and take that out, and then just pinch it, try and get it to bind as much as they can. Okay, I think this one coming up now is the head clash. There we go. That's where the cut was caused. He knew straight away.
Seconds out.
So split scoring. Muydinkhujaev gets it with 3 of the judges. Toltayev with 2. It was close. I'd have been blue corner myself there. I think not much in it at all, though. Muydinkhujaev just steps in and lets that left hand go immediately. Toltayev has just got to forget about that cut. He can't allow that to bother him. He did well in that opening round. The game plan he brought, I think, is exactly the right one. You've got to be bold against someone like this. As I said, you can't be gung-ho, but you have to be bold. Blood coming from that cut again, but not too much of it. That was good work, just shrugged him off and then landed the left hand. There was nothing wrong with that. The referee didn't say anything. There was no call to break. That's a good combination. The uppercut, I think, got through. The other 2 were blocked. And there was a right hand thrown there on the break, I think. Left hand into the pit of the stomach there from Muydinkhujaev, then looks to try and use that jab. That's a good combination from Muydinkhujaev. He's just beginning to catch Toltayev on the way in this round. Toltayev was managing to find a way onto the inside in that opening round, and he's finding it a bit more difficult here. But he's still just pressing the action as much as he can midway through the round and midway through the contest. Left into the body from Toltayev. Looks for that left hand again. Muydinkhujaev didn't quite manage to get there with it. I'm just looking at Muydinkhujaev. I can't quite work it out whether there's a swelling on the left-hand side of his cheek, around the cheekbone or not, whether it's transfer from the blood, a little bit of shadow caused by that, but I think there is. I think in that head clash maybe he picked up some damage too. I can't get a really good look at it. It doesn't seem to be causing him too much discomfort. Toltayev just trying to come forward again, just let's go with that right hand. Muydinkhujaev wasn't a fan of that at all. And he's really stuck at it here, the Kazakh. Muydinkhujaev was just beginning to turn the screw, I felt, about midway through the round, and Toltayev just making sure that he's not going to concede that ground. He's not going to let that momentum turn too much against him. He dropped that first round on the split 3-2, so still very much in it. The scoring of this second round is going to be very, very important. Lands the left hand right at the end of the round there. Well, the cut's not causing too much of a problem since it happened, to be honest. It's quite wide, but it's not very deep, and I think that's the reason why it just hasn't bled that much, but immediately just get the swab in, adrenaline solution on the swab, get it in there as quick as you can, leave it in there as long as you can, get it back out, and hopefully it just, as I say, it just binds and you get that clotting.
Seconds out.
It's split scoring 4-1 in favour of Muydinkhujaev, which means that going into the final round, he's ahead.
Third and final round.
By 2 points on 3 scorecards. Toltayev's got it by 2 points on 1 card, and the other one is level. But Toltayev has got to take that level card. If he can do that, he needs a big round, take that level card, and he can take this to a 3-2 split and to bout review. It's been a good fight right from the first bell. Toltayev came out strong, plenty of intent. Left into the body there from Muydinkhujaev, just a little stumble from Toltayev, who's just trapped in the corner slightly here, but then just manages to step off to his left and find a way out. Just pouring into the 1-2 there. Muydinkhujaev, and then just trying to push his man off. Toltayev trying to respond. Right hand lands there from the fighter in red, who's maintained the gap, kept the distance well in this final round. Uppercut, single left hand, jab left hand, and this is good boxing, keeping that upper body on the move. And the doctor's going to have a look at that cut again here. It's not bleeding too badly, to be honest. I think the doc will probably say that that's okay. But this is good stuff from Muydinkhujaev. You can see him just keep it on the outside there. He needs a really big finish here, Toltayev. That one drawn card, if he could turn that his way, then he could be in business. But he's finding it difficult to get near Muydinkhujaev in this final round. Heads coming together again there, I think. 40 seconds remaining. He's come on strong in his final round, Muydinkhujaev, and Toltayev has maybe just faded ever so slightly. He's still trying to let that right hand go. Well, there goes the bell. Really good fight. Really good fight. Muydinkhujaev, I'm confident, has done enough there. He took that lead into the final round. I think he's won that final round. He's won that final round clearly. But Toltayev forced a really good performance out of him there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest via split decision and going into the semi-finals is in the red corner, representing Uzbekistan, Asadkuja Muydinkhujaev.
And there it is, one scorecard in favour of Toltayev, the other 4 going for Muydinkhujaev. As I said, excellent contest. He did everything he could have done there, Toltayev. Started well. Maybe did just start to feel it a bit towards the end. Never let the cut bother him. But a very good effort and a good performance from Muydinkhujaev, who had to call on every ounce of his resilience and class there.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next quarter-final bout in Ring A is in the 67-kilogram welterweight division. And your referee in charge of the action from Afghanistan is Tamim Sultani. Introducing first, coming into the red corner, representing Uganda, Bob Turyatemba.
Turyatemba with wins against Andrik Alisop of Seychelles and Zakaria Romdani of Tunisia, both by unanimous decision.
And his opponent comes into the blue corner, representing Moldova, Alexandru Paraschiv.
13-0 as a pro here, Turyatemba in the red. 22 years old, boxing out of Kampala.
Your judges for the contest come from Kazakhstan, Armenia, Morocco, Serbia, and Tunisia.
And Paraschiv with wins against Praveen Kumar and Jandos Ashkar. A lot of experience, Paraschiv, a silver medal at the 2024 Euros, has boxed in 2 previous World Championships, as well as the World Youth and the World Juniors. So at 26 years old, he's been in this elite system for a long time.
Round 1.
So Turyatemba in the red, Paraschiv in the blue. Two southpaws. He's got a long reach on him, Turyatemba. Paraschiv is more compact. Good combination there from Paraschiv. Left hand into the body, Turyatemba just trying to fire back. Beautiful shot there from Paraschiv, and the referee is counting. I'm surprised that he's counting because he was straight down on his back there and he's waved this one over. And you could just tell by the way that he hit the canvas there, Turyatemba, that that was a very, very solid blow. And this is over in the first round. He made a reasonable start there, Turyatemba. He is quite loose, quite open, but he's got that long reach. Paraschiv, as I described him, more compact. And just touches. I was going to say touches with the left hand. That was a solid blow with the left hand and then landed the right. It was a really good combination. A left cross, right hook on the inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this contest by knockout in round 1 and advancing into the semi-finals in the blue corner representing Moldova, Alexandru Paraschiv.
Well, that was a clean, brutal finish. I think that's how you would describe that. Got inside that long reach. And 2 solid punches later, it was all over. He's okay, I'm glad to say, Turyatemba. And he's had a profitable time here. He's won a couple of fights at the World Championships, which is no mean feat. And he's earned himself $10,000 US. And he's trying to throw from the outside there. He's trying to keep it long. And then on the inside, you just see the eyes there. The eyes kind of roll without wanting to get too graphic. Landed the left hand and then finished it off with the right. And he's pretty much out as he goes down there, I think. And then maybe his head just hitting the canvas just kind of brings him round a little bit. That often happens. That's boxing. Now we go into the middleweight division.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next quarter-final in Ring A moves into the 75-kilogram middleweight division. Your referee in charge of this contest from Colombia is Juan Carlos Fernandez Mora. Introducing first, in the red corner representing Azerbaijan, say Jamshid Jafarov.
Seen plenty of Jafarov in this ring. Had an absolute ding-dong with Michael Akalu. Fantastic fight. And then a more straightforward unanimous decision win in the round of 16 against Ali Abdallah of Bahrain. Much decorated, bronze at the World Boxing World Championships, silver at the last IBA World Championships. Been Asian champion a couple of times. Now boxing for Azerbaijan, formerly of Uzbekistan, of course. And here he comes, bit of a wait, but he's coming in now.
And now please welcome his opponent into the blue corner representing Uzbekistan, Fazldin Erkimboev.
Erkimboev of Uzbekistan, 20 years old, got gold in Liverpool at the World Boxing Championships. And he's had a great year. He's scooped gold at the Strandja at the World Boxing Cup in Brazil, also in Poland. Now, where is Jafarov? That's what we're all wondering. I thought he was on his way in. Actually, it turned out that he wasn't, but he is now. I've just seen him come in through the mouth of the
Your
tunnel.
Judges for this contest come from Kyrgyzstan, Egypt, Italy, Tajikistan and Latvia.
Erkimboev has had wins against Sirgak, Abdijapar Ulu of Kyrgyzstan and Vaktan Haratyunyan of Armenia. That was a good win, really good win. Haratyunyan, one of those fighters who looks to bring the heat. And Erkimboev just dealt with him well. And this should be a really good fight.
Round 1.
So Jafarov in the red, Erkimboev in the blue. Long left hand, and he just falls down to the canvas there. That was a slip, that wasn't a knockdown. Strong looking right hand there from Erkimboev. And again, he's looked for that a couple of times now, leading off with that hook 3 times in a row. Wonder whether he's just seen something. And again, that's the punch that he's looking for here. He's getting stuck in here, Jafarov, looking to try and put it on Urkinboev a little bit. It's an aggressive start from Jafarov, but Urkinboev has been calm in the face of it and has landed some good punches. And again, he looks for that lead right hand. Left hand that time from the Uzbek. And there's that right hand. He's just been catching Jafarov with it for fun so far. He's looking for the jab there, Jafarov. He stands up nice and tall, Urkinboev, and he's having success here. Just throwing those hooks and catching Jafarov around the top of the head. Trying to find a way through with the right to the body there, Jafarov, but it was well defended into the final minute of this opening round. Well, that was a little bit wishy-washy there from Urkinboev, letting those two hands go and both missing. But he's picked some good punches in this first round, Urkinboev. He's landed a good number of times. Jafarov has been aggressive but hasn't had the same kind of success rate. Touchy gloves between the two at the end of round one. And he came out hard there, Jafarov, but in the opening stages, he kept getting hit by that right hand. Well, that was the fall early on, and I thought it was purely him losing his balance off the back of throwing his own left hand, but he did get kind of slung around the back of the head there a little bit with the right hand of Urkinboev and dragged forward and down, I guess.
Seconds out.
I don't think it was a clean punch is what I'm saying. And so therefore you couldn't give the knockdown.
Round two.
And Urkinboev gets it with all three judges, courtesy of, quite simply, a greater volume of scoring shots. And Jafarov is trying to force this, as he has been from the start. Physically, he does look huge for a middleweight, Jafarov. If you look at the width of the back on him there, he's got his back too. As him and Urkinboev are not the same physically. He's a little bit taller, Urkinboev. But Jafarov is just so solid. Boxing against somebody who, not that long ago, would have been a teammate, albeit in the lower age groups. Left hand there from Urkinboev. Lovely, lovely shot. And he just lost his balance there and lost his rigidity slightly as he came forward. Jafarov, he's complaining a little bit to the referee, but this is exactly where you need a standing count, because you could see the reaction that punch got. The legs just went a little bit for a brief second there, and that was a very well-picked punch from Urkinboev. And Jafarov is in a bit of trouble here because he's lost that first round. He's losing this second round, and Urkinboev is on point. And I think he feels, Urkinboev, that he's going to get more openings. He doesn't necessarily need to go looking for them in any kind of a crazy way. Left to the body there, because Jafarov is going to come at him like he has been from the start. He's not been quite in sync so far, the fighter in red. And again, he moves in there. Rogozin takes his feet out easily. He's stuck in no man's land, and the right hand didn't land clean. And again, he's just trying to maraud onto the inside here, Jafarov. There's no real great cohesion about his attacks. He just seems a bit out of kilter, but Rogozin has been fantastic so far. I just wonder with Jafarov how much that first fight against Michael Lekalu took out of him, because it was some fight, he was down twice, and it did make me wonder a bit. And I said this to a couple of colleagues when we were talking later that night. It made me wonder about his punch resistance slightly, because he is absolutely massive at the weight. And there goes the bell at the end of the second round, because Lekalu put him down a couple of times. He's been put down again here. And that's not me trying to throw any shade on the power of Lekalu or Rogozin. But it's possible he could have outgrown the weight. He's boxed very nicely so far, Fazlidin Rogozin. He's trying to be physical, Jafarov, and shrug his man off and really get on top of him. And that was the left hand. He didn't put him down, I beg your pardon, but it was a standing count, and a very legit standing count, because the legs did just go a bit.
Seconds out.
So third and final round, and it's 10-9 across the board there again, and that was an easy round to score. They've both been pretty easy rounds to score, to be honest. So Jafarov has got
final round.
An enormous amount to do here if he's going to get back into this. Well, I forgot to put the gum shield in. That's how confident they are. So Rogozin in the blue, in the driving seat here. Jafarov in the red is going to have to give it absolutely everything. He needs a big, big round here. Long left hand there from Jafarov, did land clean. He had to really chase it in though to get it there. Rogozin just standing his ground. I think the corner feeling that maybe he doesn't need to get quite as involved as he is. Good right hand counter there from Rogozin. And Jafarov just going down to his knees there. So heading into the final minute then. At the moment, Fazlidin Rogozin just going to go through here. He's won these first two rounds. Gave his opponent a standing count in the second. Jafarov's really trying to force it in this third round, as he has been really from the start of the fight. He's been trying to be aggressive. But that touch, that flow, that feel has not really been there for him. It's all looked a bit disjointed and untidy at times. He's very composed, Rogozin. 20 years old. They are just pumping out top fighters, Uzbekistan. It's such a good Paris Olympics, but they've already, it would seem, got a new generation coming through. So final few seconds here. And this is going to be another big win for Uzbekistan against somebody who, of course, was in their ranks himself until not that long ago. And applause round ringside, and every reason that there should be, because that was an excellent performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest by unanimous decision and heading into the semi-finals in the blue corner, representing Uzbekistan, Fazodin Erkinboyev.
So split scoring in that final round. Jafarov just kept bringing it and bringing it and bringing it, and three of the judges went his way. I probably would have gone the blue corner again, I think, myself. It didn't affect the overall result. 5-0, a unanimous decision. And Erkinboyev makes it through. And next up, we've got Kazakhstan against Israel. And then Miroslav Kaplarishchenko, a man who was given good entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next quarter-final in Ring A is in the 75-kilogram middleweight division. Your referee in charge of the action from Romania is Valentin Iulian Botez. Introducing to you first, coming into the red corner, representing Kazakhstan, Sabrizan Akhilkov.
Akhilkov just making his way in. Big knockout against Josh Cousin in his first fight, and then a points result against Tohariri Halit.
And his opponent comes into the blue corner, representing Israel, Miroslav Kaplarichenko.
Akhilkov boxed at the World Boxing World Championships, won an Asian Under-22 gold last year, has also been a World Youth Champion, so at 23 years old, waiting for his first really big breakthrough as a senior.
Your judges for this contest from Tunisia, Sri Lanka, the UAE, Azerbaijan and Serbia.
And you look at the face there of Miroslav Kaplarichenko, and that tells you not quite the whole story, but some of it. Fight got stopped early, his opening fight against Oswald Talaka due to a nosebleed from a head clash. He was ahead on the cards, won the fight against Edwin Owidjor of Kenya, won on a 4-1 split, but took an 8 in round 3. That nose started to bleed again against Juan Camilo Gonzalez of Colombia in the round of 16. Again, a 4-1 split. Again, that little bit of damage came to the fore, and you just look at those eyes as well. He's been in some good scraps, and I expect that this will be another one.
Round one.
Akhilkov in the red, Kaplarichenko in the blue. And this is the Israeli fighter's 4th IBA World Championships. Again, he's been in this elite system for a long time. He won bronze in the World Juniors 12 years ago, back in 2013. Got to the quarterfinals in the European Championships last year. Good uppercut there. from Asilbek, who hasn't been through the wars in the same way that Kaplarichenko has. It's not quite on the same level, but I just remember my ring in Belgrade 4 years ago. And Mark Petrovsky, who went on to win super heavyweight gold, just had epic toe-to-toe battle after epic toe-to-toe battle. And it was kind of the same for Raheem Gonzalez at light heavyweight, just incredible fights. And somehow they managed to just keep churning them out, particularly Petrovsky, because he wasn't really a super heavyweight, so he was always giving away size. And that's the toll it can take, tournament boxing. Good strong jab, and there goes the nose, and this is the problem he's got. It's happening every single time. And a bit of damage to a cut on the corner of the left eye as well. He's been in the wars, and you can see a shake of the head there as soon as he realised that it's happened again. Because if they get opened up by punches, then of course, if the fight's then stopped, then Asilbek will win. Nice combination there from Asilbek. And that's a mask of blood, that face almost now, and I'm not sure this is going to last much longer, to be honest with you, because it's only going to get worse. We're only, what, 100 seconds in. She's having a good look, the doctor. She'll do her absolute best for him, and she's going to send him back out there. And if it's just because the scabbing, whatever healing that has been done has immediately been removed, then that's not necessarily made it any worse, not yet, anyway. Asilbek elusive. Kaplarichenko's trying to make things happen here. And psychologically, this could affect him because he might be thinking that he needs to try and get Asilbek out of there before he's finally pulled out. Because there's only so many times that they can send him over before this comes somewhat untenable. Good right hand there from Kaplarichenko. And it's just still bleeding. He's not been hit on it since he went back to the corner the last time, but it's just a natural pulsing of the veins, really, is just causing the blood to come out. And that's a good left hand from Asilbek. Just set his feet on that one. Good uppercut, and down he goes, Kaplarichenko. And he's frustrated with himself there, but that was really well timed by Asilbek. He's picking his punches so nicely here. This is so tough for Kaplarichenko. And the referee has done the right thing there. That's a compassionate stoppage because there's no doubt he had the gas to keep going there, Kaplarichenko. But just look at his face. He's going to keep getting sent over to the corner. The doctor would have had to have stopped it at some point anyway. He's been knocked down. He's done well to get this far because of the damage that he's always had to put up with throughout the course of these fights. And he's done the right thing there, the referee. He's absolutely done the right thing. Lovely left hand that just kind of sent him off balance. And then as he missed with the right hand, he hadn't really regained that balance, and down he went.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by RSC, and moving into the semi-finals in the red corner, representing Kazakhstan, Sabrijan Asilbek.
So Asilbek goes through, and that's the kind of win you want in the quarterfinals. It didn't last too long. He's not got a scratch on him, but I applaud Kaplarichenko there as he exits the ring because he's been through the wars. But he's won a succession of fights, a succession of tough fights, and that was a really nice uppercut that landed. And they did say that he might be bold because he might feel like he needed to get a stoppage himself before he was stopped by the doctor by his own wounds. So through goes Bazeyan, Asilbek, and that's us done with the middleweights. We now move into the cruiserweight division, and this should be a very good fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next quarter-final bout in Ring A now moves into the 86-kilogram cruiserweight division. Your referee in charge of this contest from Morocco is Umeima Semlali. Introducing first, coming into the red corner representing Russia, Sharobdin Atayev.
Atayev looked good yesterday against Khalokov of Moldova. A world champion, a European champion, undefeated professional.
And his opponent comes into the blue corner representing Uzbekistan, Akmaljon Isroilov.
Isroilov got past Toltayev, got revenge actually. He lost to him in the World Boxing Cup in Brazil earlier in the year and got a comprehensive win yesterday. World Boxing gold medalist in Liverpool in September.
Your judges for the contest come from Afghanistan, Armenia, Kazakhstan, Serbia and Tunisia.
That's Toltayev just getting that training top off from Makhachkala. Won that World Championship gold in 2023, beat Lauren Alfonso in the final, who provided a spectacular one-punch knockout in this ring a couple of days ago. Isroilov just loping over that top rope. Beat Robert McNulty in a good fight before he beat Toltayev. So Atayev in the red, Isroilov in the blue. Isroilov physically the bigger of the two.
Round one.
It's a 6-kilogram division in the weight below. Light heavy's 80, this is 86. That's quite a lot of space, it's nearly a stone, so you will get fighters who are bigger than others when you get to those heavier weights, and this is an instance, I would say, Isroilov is a bit bigger, although when you look at him up close, I don't think there's all that much in it. And he started aggressively here, the fighter in blue. Atayev is a very good all-round campaigner. Referee just telling Isroilov to try and keep those punches up. And these two are pretty much right in front of each other. There's no feeling out process going on here. Right hand landed, and again there from Isroilov, and sends a left hand straight down the middle. And this is warming up already. He's had a good start here, Isroilov. Right to body there from Atayev. Isroilov just coming over the top of his front foot a bit there as he threw that left hand. Atayev wasn't really close enough to capitalise. Right hand into the body there from Toltayev, then just hooking on the move with that left hand. Another left hand lands there, and he's just getting back into it here. The fight just toing and froing nicely. Uppercut on the inside. And then a right hand into the body. He's just hitting a little bit of a groove here, the Russian. Ashiraliyev, as we said, started well. Ashiraliyev just turning there and managing to land with that right hand. The final few seconds of the round. It's been an interesting round, this, because the fighter from Uzbekistan started well, but it's Toltayev who is finishing more strongly here. A touch of gloves between the two.
The time stopped, so she's using the time now, and the system's
Seconds out.
Denis Lebedev right in the middle of the Russian fans there. And we're experiencing a slight issue with the scoring system, in so much as the displaying of it. The scores are still being taken, and you just see the referee doing it the old school way there, collecting scoring slips and handing them to the table at ringside so they can tally them up, which is what you always see in pro boxing. That's absolutely standard, but in IBA boxing they use iPads on the desk in front of them, and so we're just taking it back to the old school. In the meantime, I don't have any scores to bring you at the end of that first round. It was a tight round though, that much we do know. I think I probably would have shaded red myself, but Ashiraliyev again is looking to start the round strong here. And Toltayev under pressure just manages to turn out of the corner. But Toltayev just holding his feet, just working those hands, just letting them go. Ashiraliyev with a nice jab. Good flurry again there from Toltayev. Ashiraliyev looks to put more on his punches. Toltayev throws more. He's got quick hands, right hand on the inside there. And I can tell you that the way that first round was scored was 10-9 across the board to Sharabutkin Toltayev. And Ashiraliyev, I think maybe he's beginning to feel the pace of this a little bit. The mouth is hanging open slightly, and you can see the effort he's putting into it as he launches forward there to try and throw the combination. And it's a big effort from him as he just sets his feet and slings in that left hand. Good stiff-looking jab there. Toltayev turns southpaw. It's a final minute of round two. Good combination there from Toltayev, and again, a good solid right hand. Left to the body there from Toltayev as Roylov just taking a couple on the gloves and then just looking for any opportunity to let his own go. Left hand missed that time. He's put a big effort into this second round, this Roylov, and he needs it too. He needs the scores in this second round. I'm not convinced he's going to get them. Quick hands again there from Toltayev, and that's the problem you've got when you're fighting him. And both of them just swapping stiff jabs there. Nice uppercut from Toltayev. And you look at the mouth open there of is Roylov as he looks over at Toltayev's shoulder. There's a bit of blood coming from somewhere, I think, or maybe just a slight bit of reddening. Good action in that round. And these two just summoning it up.
Seconds
one
out.
final big effort. That's the score from round one. We will bring you the score from round two when we get it. Using the scoring slips at the moment, so taking a little while to
Third
compile.
and final round.
We'll probably get those scores maybe halfway through this round. So third and final round, and these two are going to give it absolutely everything. As Roylov needs enough of those scores to have gone his way in the second. He won't know, we don't know, it doesn't matter. These two will just get to it. Left into the body. And I've got the scores from round two. 4-1 in favour of Toltayev, so as Roylov has got a mountain to climb here, but he will surely try and climb it. He's going to ditch everything he's got into this final 3 minutes and force exactly the same out of Sharabuddin Toltayev. Just heaving that left hand in there is Roylov, catching a couple on the way in, just dipping his head. Toltayev, I think, is definitely feeling this himself as well now. From the southpaw stance, just lets those hands go. These two put so much into this, they're punching themselves to a bit of a standstill here. That was good from Roylov. The referee wasn't getting involved, so he just pushed his man off, let his hands go again. More in that second round from the judges is Roylov. And these two just exchanging right up above us into the final minute. Right hand into the body from Toltayev, and they just have a little lean on and nick a few seconds rest, but then Roylov looks to disentangle and get moving again and get punching again. That's quite noisy. I think the referee needs to be a bit clearer than that. Final 15 seconds. And these two just letting their hands go. Right hand on the inside there from Roylov. It's been a terrific fight, this. Great final round in particular. Roylov there just sucking in one final lungful of air. And there goes the bell. Well, we know what happened with the scoring in the first 2 rounds. We know that Toltayev has got enough on the board there, because nobody's run that final round 10-8. He's got enough on the board there to make it through, but that has taken almost everything away from the pair of them. They boxed yesterday, both of them. They're boxing today, and whoever wins will be going through again and boxing tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest via unanimous decision, and now going in to the semi-finals. In the red corner, representing Russia, Toltayev.
So he gets Toltayev 2-1 with 3 of the judges, 3-0 with the other 2, and it was a terrifically hard-fought contest, that. And they were just punching and punching and punching in that third and final round. And it started at a good tempo as well, as Jalilov came out of the gate quick. Toltayev had to respond and did so. Adriano Kiana of Angola up against Georgi Kushitashvili of Georgia.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next quarter-final contest is also in the 86-kilogram cruiserweight division. And your referee in charge of the action from Kyrgyzstan is Begzad Abdurashidov. Introducing to you first, coming into the red corner, representing Angola, Adriano Kiana. And his opponent comes into the blue corner, representing Georgia, Georgi Kushitashvili.
So Kiana just striding his way in there, very long and loose kind of a fighter, won by knockout in his first fight in the second round against Harpal Singh, and then beat Ashiraliyev of Comoros 4-1. Kushitashvili from Tbilisi, a knockout early in the first round against Erking Asilbek Ulu in his one fight so far.
Your judges for the contest come from Latvia, Palestine, the UAE, Colombia and Egypt.
Kushitashvili got to the quarterfinals in Liverpool at the World Champs, a Paris Olympian, a bronze medalist in Tashkent at the IBA World Championships 2 years ago, a European gold medalist the year before that, so that's a good haul of medals and appearances in major competitions. And it was a good stoppage against Asilbek Ulu. Seemed to catch him quite high on the head. It was kind of hard to tell from the replay. Backed him up in the corner, teed him up really, hit him with the right hand, and it was all over.
Round one.
So Kiana, Angola in the red, Kushitashvili, Georgia in the blue. Looking for the right hand there, Kuchitashvili. Didn't quite manage to land it. Just trying to stalk Kiana, trying to track him down. Left hand into the body, then looking for that right hand. Left to the body again. Kiana just on the retreat, a right hand through the middle. He's got to try and use that lead hand here, Kiana, to keep Kuchitashvili off him. Throws the 1-2 and ditches it in, overhand right. It's a little bit wild, this, from Kiana. He needs to be careful. He's got to stay compact, but he's got to throw, and he's got to throw with some meaning, because Kuchitashvili is just going to move in on him like he is here. That was good. That was better from Kiana. He just turned off the ropes. He just shuffles in, he slides in, doesn't he, Kuchitashvili? Before you know it, he's on you. And there's that right hand, followed by a left. Could have argued that the ropes kept him up there, but he bounced off them, so I think that was probably fair enough. Left hand into the body there from Kuchitashvili. And again, just digging down. Right hand didn't miss by far. He's really bringing the heat here to Kiana, Georgi Kuchitashvili. Right hand again, just sliding over the shoulder of Kiana. Long right hand lands there from Kuchitashvili. Trying to find the gap for another one here. From one corner to the other we go. Kiana will want the bell here. And you just wonder how much longer he can really stay away for. Kuchitashvili going to the body, goes up with the left hook. That was a rough round for the Angolan fighter, it really was. And there's that right hand, that's what he's looking for. He's measuring for the right with that left. He brings good, effective pressure.
Seconds out.
So split scoring in favour of Kuchitashvili. 4-1 with the judges. It was an incredibly clear Kuchitashvili round.
Round 2.
So into the second, the Georgian in the ascendancy, he's in the blue, Kiana in the red. He needs to throw that lead hand, Kiana, shoot that jab out. He's got to do something just to stop Kuchitashvili walking in on him. Leads off with the left hook there. Kuchitashvili in on him again, lead left hook and then right hand. Looking for that right again, and Kiana just stepped off to his left. He was maybe just slightly too deliberate there, Kuchitashvili. Goes down to the body, then up to the head. And again, he's just looking to tuck up there, Kiana. There's not too much coming back. He's got to do something to discourage Kuchitashvili here. Left to the body. I think the body attack could be a good idea for Kuchitashvili. That might bring those gloves down a bit. Make a bit more room for the attack up top. 1-2 there from Kiana. That's better as he comes off the ropes. They're going to tuck the vest in. That's what's going on there. Long right hand there, gets through from Kuchitashvili. Looking for the uppercut. And he's just trying to survive here, Kiana. He goes from the ropes on one side to the ropes on the other side, right above us. And again, he goes to the body, Kushitashvili, then switches up with the left hook. Just setting his feet and just looking to punish his man to the body here, Kushitashvili, with a minute remaining in the round. The combination there gets through up top. Just tries to ditch that right hand over the top. There's not much on it there from Kiana. He's doing what he can here. He's just trying to stick in there. The referee telling him to keep his head up. And again, just taking punches to the side of the head there. And again, they just have to put that vest back in. If I was in the Angolan corner, I'd pull him out, I think, at the end of this second round, because there's a chance here that he's going to get knocked out. He's taking a beating. There's not much coming back, and he's just hanging in there on heart, really. And all that awaits him in the third round is at best 3 more minutes of this. That's the best case scenario, is 3 more minutes of that. And you look at him there just leaning on the ropes, waiting for the stall. There is nothing to be gained by sending him back out here. People talk about a puncher's chance and all of that, but in some cases that's just nonsense. Sometimes you absolutely know what's going to happen next. And as I say, the best case scenario for Kiana here is that Kushitashvili just gives it to him for another 3 minutes. But it could be worse than that.
Seconds out.
And 10-9 across the board there. I'm slightly surprised there aren't some 10-8s in there, because this is very one-sided.
Third and final round.
So third and final round, as Aki says, Adriano Kiana of Angola in the red, Georgi Kushitashvili of Georgia in the blue. That's better from Kiana. Get on that jab. That's going to give Kushitashvili at least something to think about. But the Georgian just straight back on him here. Goes up to the head, goes down to the body. Up and down with the jab. Just trying to change the level. That's good boxing. That guard is tight though from Kiana. You can see he's determined to tuck up here. He's determined to get through. But after those initial flurries in the early stages of the round, again, really is going into survival mode here. He's just trying to protect himself. Left hand there from Kiana. Okay, maybe he's got a little bit more left. Kushitashvili, for his part, he's clear here, and he doesn't need to go absolutely crazy. I think that left hand to the body might have hurt him a little bit. You could see him just back off there. He doesn't need to take any risks here himself, so maybe he's not going to put the hammer absolutely down. There's a little bit of damage around that right eye, I think, just below the eyebrow maybe for Kushitashvili. There's a right hand goes up top there for Kushitashvili. And again, more good body work. And with a semi-final coming up tomorrow, he would be well advised, actually, not to go too crazy here, because he'll have boxed 3 days in a row too. If you're in the round of 16 on Sunday, no, Monday, then you'll have got a little bit of rest. between your fight and this one. Everybody's going to have 2 in 2 days, though. Quarter-final and semi-final. Just setting his feet and letting that right hand go. And he's done better in this final round, Kiana. I'm happy to admit that, but I think part of the reason for that is that Kushitashvili hasn't gone out looking to try and force the stoppage here because he just doesn't need it. Well, there goes the bell, and Kushitashvili with a very comprehensive win. And after this, we will venture into the super heavyweight division for a final 2 fights of the session.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this contest via unanimous decision, and now heading into the semi-finals in the blue corner, representing Georgia, Georgi Kushitashvili.
So Kushitashvili goes through. And he's gained a lot of good experience in this tournament, Kiana, and he managed to get through there. I wasn't convinced that he would, but he did. Coming up in our first super heavyweight quarter-final, we've got 2 fighters who haven't actually done that much boxing yet, despite the fact that they've had 4 fights between them. They've had early finishes for a number of different reasons. Arman Makhanov and Fernando Arzola.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next quarterfinal in Ring A moves into the 92 kilogram plus super heavyweight division. Your referee in charge of the action from Italy is Luca Varilonga. Introducing first into the red corner, representing Cuba, Alejandro Fernando Lopez Arzola.
And as I mentioned, he's had an interesting time of it, Arzola. RSC in his first fight, his opponent twisted an ankle, although he did land a punch first, and then Ayu Gasper retired with an injured left bicep.
His opponent comes into the blue corner representing Uzbekistan, Arman Makhanov.
So there is Arzola, bronze at the Pan Am Championships in 2023, a World Championship silver to his name as well.
Your judges in charge of, your judges scoring this contest come from Colombia, Egypt, Armenia, Kazakhstan and Romania.
He is a big unit, Fernando Arzola, that is for sure. Didn't make it to the Paris Olympics, which would have come as a huge disappointment to him. Makhanov had a fantastic stoppage win against Chris Thompson in his first fight. Left-right combo was absolutely smoking and put the South African away. And then in his last fight, was a head clash against Vladislav Smoljakov of Belarus after 57 seconds. He went to the cards. He'd done enough good work early on. Makhno started nice and brightly, which meant that he got it. So not exactly many miles on the clock for these two in terms of this tournament. They should have a lot left.
Round one.
And Makhno just going straight at it here. Left into the body there from Arzola, then just dips his head and looks for that right hand. They're just engaging close in here. He ends up dumped on the canvas there, Makhno, in no uncertain terms. The way they're trading off on the inside, you just feel like it's not that long before somebody lands something pretty meaningful. Almost walked onto a solid right hand there, Arzola. Well, he did in fact walk onto a solid right hand, but it didn't have too much of an impact on him. A little bit messy at times. They're both tending to launch attacks simultaneously and just ending up on each other's shoulders, not quite enough room to work. Arzola is really trying to put the pressure on Makhno here though and bully him a bit. Long right hand and a left hand landed there from Arzola as well. He's really bringing the heat here. He's trying to get a hold of Arzola Makhno and buy himself a little bit of time, but Luka Vadalonga correctly is not having it. Arzola with a heavy looking right hand again, and he looks a bit spent here, Makhno, all of a sudden. When you look up in the ring, I think he's taken 2 or 3 quite solid blows and they've taken a bit off him. Big swing and a miss there from Arzola, and Makhno could do with more of that, because that will take it out of Arzola. But the Cuban has put a lot into this opening round. Long right hand again there. Right hand again there from Arzola. Final few seconds of round one. And he's digging in towards the end here, Makhno. Well, there goes the bell. And that was an intense opening round. A lot of punches there. And super heavyweight. It's unusual to see tempo like that. So 10-9s across the board there for Arman Makhno. I don't understand that.
Seconds out.
What I saw there was Fernando Arzola driving him around the ring. Okay, he didn't land completely clean, but everything he threw, but he landed enough. Makhno off the back foot.
Round two.
Did land some punches, but I'm baffled by that, honestly. So into the second round, and Arzola needs this one now. Right hand on the inside there from Makhno. Arzola just trying to throw his own right. Hands the body there from Makhanov. Arzola needs to get that work rate back up, but he did put a lot into that opening round. Turn southpaw, maybe too much. And Makhanov just onto the front foot now. He's made a good start to round 2. Good body attack there from Makhanov and Arzola. Well, the punch output, the aggression is just not the same in this second round so far anyway as it was in the first, midway through the round, and Makhanov is winning this round so far. Right hand lands there from Arzola and pushes his man over the top of the ropes, and it looked like they might both disappear out of the ring there for a second. And the pace in the second round has slowed considerably. As I said, Arzola really took it to Makhanov in that opening round, and it was pretty frenetic, particularly for super heavyweight, but it's dropped off, and I guess that's probably not too surprising. And Makhanov has landed the better shots in this second round. Left hand is the body there from Arzola. Short with the right hand there, Arzola. And there's a lot of holding in this second round, and a blink of the eyes from Makhanov there. I think that opener took a lot out of the pair of them. Arzola trying to finish strong here. Makhanov ends up on the canvas again, and the bell's about to go at the end of the second. And there it does go. Arzola raises his sound. The Uzbek corner seemed to like that one. And as I said, the pace really dipped in that second round. I think Makhanov has done enough to win that second round. I thought Arzola won the first round clearly, but all 5 judges disagreed with me. So we may well see Makhanov 2 points clear with all of the judges when these scores come up in a second, and that is indeed the case. 10-9s all around. He picked the better punches in the second round there. Arzola, I think, put a lot, as I said, into that first round.
Seconds out.
So third and final round, Makhanov with a handy lead, but this is super heavyweight where really anything can happen.
Third and final round.
So Arzola in the red, representing Cuba. Makhanov in the blue for Uzbekistan. So there's a bit of work to be done here. Is it the vest? I think they just need to tuck the vest in. Tuck it in a bit further so that the referee can make sure he sees that belt line nice and clear. Left to the body there from Makhanov. And another good body attack is again, and it's been impressive from the Uzbek, the way that he's managed to recover from that first round. In the way that Arzola has a left hand there from Arzola, and down goes Makhanov. He looks at the corner, a standing count. His legs went from underneath him. You could see them do a little shimmy, and that was what caused him to go down. So it's very much still on here. I did say this is super heavyweight where truly anything can happen. Arzola swings himself almost out of the ring there, throwing that big right hand. That would have put a strain on the ropes. Just under 2 minutes remaining. just trying to tee something up here, Arzola. A cuffing blow even might be enough. The punch that landed, that put him down, took something off him. There's no doubt about that. He's looking over the shoulder of his opponent towards the corner, who were just trying to give him some advice midway through the round. And you look at Makhanov, and he's got that same kind of look about him that he had in the opening round, where you feel like he might be about to unravel. Right hand was a little bit around the back of the head, I thought there. So into the final minute, he needs a knockout or at least a 10-8 on a number of cards here to try and turn this around. The Cuban. And he's got to push it. He has really got to push it if he's going to get that 10-8 in this final round, I think. I don't think it really is one just yet. Makhanov, I don't think he's got much left here at all, but Arzola is running low on gas too. He's got to keep throwing here, Arzola. He just has to. Just set up a few good punches, try and keep that technique. Just throw a few technically sound punches, and that could be enough. Makhanov just moves away to his right-hand side. 10 seconds. Looking for the right, didn't quite manage it. He's literally running here, Makhanov. A couple of seconds remaining. He's absolutely done in, as they both are. Well, there goes the bell. And I think he's hung on there, Makhanov. Standing count, and he was wobbled in that round. And you could see how dog-tied the pair of them were by the end. It was a strange fight, that, to be honest, because the opening round, Arzola put plenty into it. He was getting on top of Makhanov. Makhanov at times looked a bit in the first round like he did in that third round. All the judges gave the first round to Makhanov, which I just couldn't understand. The second round, Makhanov was the better of the two and got the round, and then we saw what we saw in that final round.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest via unanimous decision, and now moving into the semi-finals. In the blue corner, representing Uzbekistan, Arman Makhanov.
And Makhanov gets it, and you can see how upset Arzola is there, and I can understand why, because to my mind that was an easy fight to score. It was red corner rounds 1 and 3 and blue corner round 2. But it's Makhanov who's got it, and he will go through to the semi-finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, our final contest of this session is the quarter-final in the 92 kilogram plus super heavyweight division. Your referee in charge of the action from Tunisia will be Chokri Aridi. Introducing into the ring first and going into the red corner, representing Kazakhstan, Nurlan Saparbey.
So this is Kazakhstan up against Armenia. Saparbey against Jalilov.
And his opponent comes into the blue corner representing Armenia, David Shaloyan. Your judges for this contest come from Afghanistan, Romania, Serbia, Sri Lanka and Morocco.
And Saparbay just walking up the steps there. A gold in the Eindhoven Cup this year. Beat Iman Ramazanpour of IBA Pro in his first fight by unanimous decision. And that is David Chalian. Quarterfinals in the Paris Olympics. Silver medalist in the 2021 World Championships, where he lost to Mark Petrovsky, who I was talking about earlier on. Close fight, Dad. I thought Chalian was unlucky that day. Beat Mohammed Abdurrahimov of Tajikistan by unanimous decision in his opening fight.
Round one.
So into the first, Saparbay red, Chalian blue. Holds those hands low, Saparbay. Chalian with a jab to the chest. Right hand comes back there from Saparbay. Good solid jab there from Chalian into the chest. He's landed that a couple of times. And again there. Trust that upper body movement, doesn't he? When you look at him, Saparbay, he doesn't move that much, but he moves just enough. Stands quite square actually sometimes in terms of his upper body. The torso's quite square on. It makes it difficult to know which hand's going to lead off. Little right hand on the inside there from Chalian. That's a decent one too from Chalian. Left hand comes back though from Saparbay. Interesting fight to watch this. Differing kinds of styles. Not much in this opening round. Right hand lands there from Saparbay. There's that right hand to the chest. He's landed to the body a good few times, Chalian. It's not particularly glamorous in the super heavyweight division, but they're just good, strong, thudding blows. And the judge is going with Chalian in that opening round. The efficient kind of methodical work he did, I think, with that lead left hand and right hand into the chest, into the torso, I think is what's won him the round.
Seconds there. Out.
Sapabay is looking to be a bit more expansive. Maybe he was looking for those headshots, didn't really manage to connect with too many.
Round 2.
Whilst Chalian, as I say, was just banking those scoring punches, and he does the same thing again there, little poke to the body with the lead hand. He's got the height and the reach here. Just stepping in with a lead left hand there, Chalian, and Sapabay needs to make a little bit of a move here, just walks onto a jab. He's on the outside waiting, but he's waiting a bit too long, and this fight is just slipping away from him. He'll just keep throwing that jab, Chalian. He does the kinds of things that I've been asking for the last few days from quite a few fighters. Big, tall fighters who've got the reach. Just keep throwing the jab, no need to neglect it, just keep throwing it, and that's what he does. He keeps it simple. And just running the clock down a little bit there. Chalian again with the jab to the chest, and this has been pretty similar to the first round. He's got to gamble a bit here, Sapabay, I think. Maybe he feels that he's doing enough to nick this second round. You don't know whether the corner gives the fighter an idea of the way rounds have gone or not, but just looking at that Kazakh corner, they are telling him, imploring him to do more here, because we're going into the final minute of round 2. Long right hand there from Chalian. I think a right hand did come back from Sapabay, but work there to the body from Chalian. Uppercut from Sapabay was a glancing blow. Out of the southpaw stance there, Sapabay just hurrying his feet up a little bit towards the end of the round here. Gets through with the left hand. This is better from him, but I think it might be a little bit too little too late. Chalian lets his own hands go by way of reply. Well, there goes the bell, and he sprung into life in the last 25 seconds of the round there, but I think he might have left it a little bit too late, because before that, Chalian just did what he did in the first round. He was landing the jabs, he was landing the odd right hand to the body, up to the head. Whereas Sapabay was just waiting, as I said, he was just waiting and waiting far too long, because the corner was telling him he needed to engage more, and finally, right at the end of the round, he did, but I don't think he did it soon enough. If you finish strong, that can leave an imprint in the judge's mind when it comes to submitting that score. But Chalian gets it 10-9 with 4 out of the 5 judges, so he's in a very, very good position now.
Seconds out.
Sapabay needs a big final round here.
Third and final round.
Sapabay in the red, Chalian in the blue, and Sapabay's got to go for it in this round. Doesn't mean you have to go crazy and swing with your chin up, but he's got to be aggressive. He's got to let his hands go. So a minute gone in this first round, and Sapabay is looking to get on the front foot here, but time is running out for him. Chalion's boxed a good fight here, a good sensible fight. He uses his natural tools. Right hand lead off the ropes. He's blowing a bit though, Chalian. Sapabay just dips in and takes a left hand to the body there, scores with it. Jab to the body there from Chalian was decent. I think Sapabay is feeling the heat here slightly too, just looking up at the ring at him. Heading into the final minute, and Chalian is a minute away here from making it through to the semi-finals and that guaranteed bronze medal in $75,000 US. Good right hand there from him, and then just turned around that front foot. Nimble stuff for such a big man. Seconds to go. Right hand to the body. Sapabay just took one to the side of the head there. Final few seconds. Our final fight of this session. And there goes the bell. Chalian knows that he's done enough there, and he definitely has. Taking that 2-point lead before judges into that final round. I would say he's done enough to win that final round, but even if he hasn't, he's lost it 10-9, and that is not enough for Nurlan Sapabay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest and advancing into the semi-finals via unanimous decision is in the blue corner, representing Armenia, David Chaloyan.
So Chalian gets it and takes his place in the semi-finals, and that concludes the action in Ring A for this quarter-final session.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes boxing for this session in Ring A, and we will return to this ring at 9 p.m. Repeat, the boxing will commence in Ring A at 9 p.m.
And just to look at some of the action from that fight, Sapabay just never really got going. It was kind of curious. He had his best flurry towards the end of the second round, but it was too little too late. Then in the third round, again, when you expected him to maybe do a bit more, it just wasn't there. I would never accuse a professional fighter of not trying or wanting it enough, but sometimes you expect a bit more and it's just not in the tank. Well, that is what we've seen this session. Some good performances. Rogozin was impressive again, as was Khalokov, Muydinkhujaev. A tremendous knockout from Paraschiv. Really good fight between Jalilov and Toltayev as well. That wraps it up for the first session. We will see you again in just over half an hour.